Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B, y'all. Are you checking it out? I have so many papaya right now. It is awesome. So we are going to be coming up with some papaya recipes. The other day I was going to make some papaya, candied papaya. It's a Puerto Rican dish is my understanding. I've made it before a couple times. I make it for my neighbor. I usually make it once a year when we get such a huge influx of papayas, and right now we are definitely getting the papayas, but I ended up sharing that with some of my friends, and so I had 4, and then now I am I'd given them away, but now look, we're coming back into the abundance. And this is how it works, is we end up getting quite a bit at one time, and then that's what I'm saying, and then I have to find something to do with them. So I think that it's obviously not going to be tonight because we are going into the evening and I just don't have time today. Oh, and tomorrow we're getting our beef delivery. Well, not delivery, we have to go pick it up. My fiance is going to go pick up the beef. So we have got a lot going on right now, so we'll take a deep dive into the whole beef situation on another video, but I will definitely be coming up with something to do with all of these papayas. So what a blessing. This is such an awesome thing to be able to have, and like I said, this is not the first of the season, so we are getting just abundantly blessed by the papayas. So y'all get out there and get growing. It's so important. Okay, I'll bring you guys back as soon as we figure out what I'm going to do with these papayas. Hopefully not just drop them in the freezer like I have been doing just to make smoothies, because we have enough right now that we can come up with some good ideas on what we can do to utilize this beautiful papaya. Hello friends, welcome back. Today is going to be a cooking day. I kind of indicated that. I have another video out there that is going to be the banana pumpkin bread, so make sure you guys go and check that out. And I didn't want to make the videos too long so that that way you guys would see that these are actually different recipes, but I am making them all in the same day because I have some time in between the bread breaking. We're breaking bread today, y'all. We may be. Come together, friends, and let's break bread. Oh, okay, yeah. We are baking bread today. And I have a ton of papayas, as you all can see over here, that, thank you Lord, we are being blessed by the papayas right now. So what an awesome thing to be able to, I gotta get you guys right. All right, what an awesome thing to be able to be blessed with, and it's not something across the country that a lot of people actually get to enjoy. So I'm gonna make some what I call a Puerto Rican candied papaya. Listen, I don't know if that's what true Puerto Rican people would actually consume, so I don't mean any disrespect towards their culture. What I'm saying is that I basically took a recipe that is their recipe and I flipped it up to make it my own. So I think that that's more fair than anything. But if you're looking for a recipe more similar to it and you don't like my recipe, that is the type of recipe that you would actually be seeking. So I had a supervisor who was Puerto Rican and I loved her very much. Much love goes out to Miss Teresa. I am sending you my gratitude, love, and positive energy today. So she is a wonderful individual and I love her and miss her dearly. She is working at another location, and so I don't get to see her like I used to previously. So I do love her and miss her, and so I'm just sending her those positive energy and vibes. All right, so for this recipe, let's go ahead and get started. Remember, always give people gratitude and love. We're going to be using my stock pot today, which is basically like a large soup pot. Most people that are cooking know what a stock pot is, but if you need to actually buy one, then that's what this is. Okay, so this is going to be a much easier recipe. I like to move through this a little bit quickly, but because it's being recorded, I know it's not going to be. You're going to take a ripe papaya. Now, my understanding is, oh, this one looks dirty. Hold on. Okay, so that one had a little bit of stuff on it. You know what happens is that when you pick the papayas off, they will get a sap. There's this white, not clear, it's white. It's creamy looking sap that comes off of them, and it'll drip down and it'll just pick up just debris and all kinds of stuff. So who knows? I washed it off again for like the third time. I'm actually going to end up probably doubling this recipe or quadrupling this recipe, but we'll take it from the basics so that you all can see it. To me, you can can this or give this away to friends. You can actually do what I call the suck and seal, which is the food saver. I like using my food saver because what happens is, while it's papaya season, I can actually make this recipe, and let me tell y'all, let me share it with y'all and keep it real right now. Okay, listen to me. There is nothing better than this recipe at the holidays with some ice cream or something vanilla, a beautiful pound cake. People will love you for this and be like, where did you get this from? All right, so we're gonna do this. You know, I like to peel my papayas with a potato peeler. So this is just my older KitchenAid peeler. I normally peel these very quickly over the sink, but for just demonstration purposes and videoing, I am doing it here now with you guys, so that way you all can see it. And I would take these peels obviously to my compost when we are done, because that's what you do. You compost, because compost is good. You're giving back to Mother Earth and the garden, and there's nothing I love more than doing that. Now, this is definitely a recipe that is indulging. It is not healthy by any means. While you are eating a delicious organic piece of fruit, you are not getting much health benefits from it. But like I said, when you do the drop in your freezer for this recipe, like I said, you can pull it back out at the holidays, and man, people will think you're fancy, and you don't have to worry about cooking a lot, because maybe all you have to do is make the pound cake, or a sponge cake would be really nice too with it, because sponge cakes are nice and fluffy. Hold on, I gotta set this down to actually peel it, because this gets kind of slippery because of the way it's made, and it's a little more difficult to get the skin off, so I have to kind of set it down and really get a good grip on it. All right, so I'm going to show you how we do the first one, and then you are going to repeat this process the further you go on. So to me, like I said, I like to make this, if I've got, like I said, I got 4 or 5. I got 5 today, so I'm actually probably going to do at least 3 to 4 on the real life, real cooking. Hit the counter. Okay, so these have seeds in it. Remember, do your research, but these seeds are actually medicinal, so you don't necessarily want to throw them out, and if anything, you might want to put them out in the yard and spread the love and start growing papayas everywhere. If it were me, I would literally live in a papaya jungle. A banana and papaya jungle would be ideal, but for now, I have 5 or 6 of these plants out there, and so I am super blessed. But don't think that if I could get away with it, I wouldn't. I would. I'd do it right now. I'd go out there and plant as many as I could. I'd have my whole yard full of papayas and bananas, because they're not really a plant that I have to think too much about. So, and that's how I like to grow. Is now in my garden, I do, you know, have to think about it and go out there and water them and baby them a little bit. But these plants, Mother Earth takes care of these plants for the most part, unless a windstorm comes. Now, I will say that they are very fragile in that regard, so keep that in mind. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys down to the counter so you can just see how I'm slicing them up. Pretty simple though. All right, so I'm just gonna, because you want it to be in sizes that you would probably consume. So I'm gonna make them, but remember, this is the trick, is that you wanna keep all these sizes equal because you want them to cook the same. So don't make them too thin, in my opinion. I like them with a little bit of hardiness, or otherwise they'll just turn to mush and you will have papaya jelly, which we have made lots of papaya jelly, and my nephews love papaya jelly, but that would require bread or something else. All right, so you're gonna take these and put them in your stock pot, and you're gonna repeat the process. Like I said, you're going to do the same thing for the rest. So it depends. You don't have to make as many as I'm making. You can actually use just 1 papaya, and you can try it If you just want to like say, hey, what does this taste like? It's very tropical. It's delicious. If I'm getting super fancy with it, I will tell you that I have put bananas in it and add a little bit of coconut sugar to it as I'm making this, which I will obviously walk you guys through this recipe. But yeah, you can fancy this up and make it as tropical as you want. So, all right, first papaya is done. I'm gonna repeat the process and then walk you guys through this recipe. Actually, it's not gonna hurt if I walk you through the recipe now. So we'll just do it for like one, and then I'll just go back later and add in more so that I can get this cooking for today. Okay, because it's all gonna just go at one time. Okie dokie, so let's do this. All right, so we have our stock pot here. As you can see, it's only got the one papaya, so we will do it for one, and then if you need to triple it or quadruple it or whatever you need to do, then you do that on the back end for you. You do you, baby. Okay, so we need 1 cup of raw sugar. Remember, I told you sugar is the enemy. But for this recipe, you gotta add some sugar. So I'm actually gonna use a 1/2 cup. I don't believe we need a whole cup. I'm just keeping it real, okay? You're gonna need a 1/2 cup. You need at least 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder. This is the cinnamon that I'll be using, which is the organic ground cinnamon. We get this from Costco. You can use whatever cinnamon. If you have the Ceylon cinnamon, that's ideal. Ooh, I did a little too much there. I did more like tablespoons instead of teaspoons. All right, you need some vanilla extract, and of course, I like to throw in a little Redmond's. This recipe does not call for Redmond's, but I am going to use maybe a teaspoon of salt. Maybe 1/2 teaspoon, honestly, if I was being fair. Okay, and then you need 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Baking soda, not powder. Tablespoons. Okay, so you have that. Now you can add in some vanilla extract if you want, or if there's some other spices like maybe clove or something that you like, because remember, you can actually take this back out and use it for the holidays. So think about those holiday spices that would make you feel happy. But I like holiday spices all year round, so that happiness is ever present here in our home. So, and ginger, I like to add a little bit of ginger because ginger is, you know, empowering for the body to fight, and it, you know, helps reduce inflammation, and there's all kinds of benefits. Do your research on ginger, but ginger is wonderful, and you can grow ginger here in Florida, and I have tons of it, so I'll bring over the ginger now. All right, so we have tons of ginger. This was growing out in my garden. I shot a video on it. Like I said, we have like 20-30 pounds of ginger right now, so what a blessing. All right, so what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna place this stock pot over medium to high heat. You can put a lid on it, but you wanna make sure that you're consciously involved with this process and like kind of checking on it quite frequently, because you don't want the sugars to burn. And so you're gonna cook it for about 20 to 30 minutes, and it should be done after that. And what a simple recipe, like I said. So let it get really nice and lovely, and then I would let it sit, because you know, when you cook recipes with like quite a bit of sugar, what ends up happening is that they get really like hot. They'll get really hot, and they could burn you. So be cautious of that. You don't want to be like tasting it and testing it. Like, you really got to let those cool down. But that's how simple it can be. So healthy cooking, that is not what we're doing today, but it is delicious. And like I said, keep it in mind for the holidays or a birthday party or something to where you just want to kind of change it up, and you don't want it to be what you're always used to. And this, if you make, you could actually take a pureer when this is done if you really wanted to, and you could make it more like jelly-like. And this would be good in between 2 cake layers. You know, if you just take them and separate them and then fill that filling with this, it would be super delicious and something that not everybody gets to have. So that's why I said, you know, keep it in mind that you don't have to just be cooking for today. Think about how you're going to preserve this. And yes, not, you know, not everybody likes the idea of dropping stuff in a freezer, but we happen to have quite a bit of room in our freezer right now, so I do have the space and I can do it, and I think it will be lovely. So we are going to get this recipe over on to the stove and start cooking it, and then of course I always bring you guys back for the final product, but I do need to quadruple this recipe so that way I have enough to put up in store, since I do have the papayas right now. So all right, I'll bring you guys back for what that looks like when it is all done. All right, so we are cooking down that papaya, and I just want to show you guys kind of what it looks like. Remember that you're only going to be cooking this for about 20 minutes because you don't want it to get too mushy. You can make it mushy if that's how you prefer to eat it, because maybe you prefer it to be more like a jelly type. But here's what it looks like so far. It actually has a lot of natural juices, and so that's what's bringing in. You didn't have to add any water or anything to it. So let's take a look. All right, so there you go. That's what it looks like. You can see that it's very bubbly, and that's when you want to keep kind of stirring it gently. But you can see that around the rim, it's definitely got all that like sugar and cinnamon, and then I added some clove to it and ginger, just because those are the spices that I like. Now remember, I did say that you could take the immersion blender and you could blend it down if you want it to be finer, depending on how you wish to use it. So when it's actually completely done, I will actually show you what this looks like, but I just wanted to kind of show you the in-between stage. All right, so that is in-between stage, and so I'll bring you back here in the next, 15 minutes or so, which will be nothing to you all because I will be editing this video. And then I'll show you what that final product looks like, and it's super delicious. Like I said, it's a treat. It's not for all the time consumption, but when the season is right and you're getting in these papayas, you have to find ways to utilize them. And like I said, I'm actually going to be sharing some of this with my neighbors, and I will definitely be sharing with some other folks. But I used all 5 of those papayas and just tripled that recipe up, just kept making it. And then I will be also putting some for the suck and seal so that we can have some when it comes to the holiday season, so that we can enjoy it then, because my papayas don't produce during the winter time frame. So all right, I'll bring you guys back once this is all done. All right, so we are finished cooking the papaya, and I'm actually shooting another video in between this. I have a chicken leg recipe that I'm going to be making with you guys. So I just wanted to show you what this final product actually looks like before I either start putting it in like jars to share with my friends and family, or little containers, and then I'm going to drop some in the freezer like I said. So here's what it looks like. You can see it's got a nice kind of like brown texture to it. Let me grab the spoon over here. All right, so it will kind of thicken up a little bit, but do you see all the steam coming off of it? As soon as I start to turn it, it's gonna have a lot of steam, but it cooked itself down. You can see it was like up to here, and then now it's come down quite a bit. I would say that's a solid maybe like 4 inches. Yeah, I'm getting it all steamed up, but so this is what it looks like. It's got some of those nice dark chunks in it, and it's got obviously it's got quite a bit of sugar. And once this settles down, what will end up happening is it will thicken itself up all on its own. It will still definitely be somewhat runny, but it won't be as runny as it appears now. It does take quite a bit of time to cool down, so you want to make sure that you set that aside. I left some like a little bit larger chunks in there just because I texturally like it. I like to feel substance as opposed to just this like almost liquidy component to it. So there you have it. That is what it looks like. Well, it looks like kind of like a sweet potato stew or something. I promise you this house smells so good. It smells actually like the holidays because we've implemented quite a bit of holiday flavor, as I would say. Like you're getting those nice warm spices like ginger, clove, all those beautiful things, some cinnamon. So y'all, I'm telling you, I wish that I could share this with you guys, but since I can't, this is the best that we can do, is give you the recipe. So I will be adding this recipe notes into the video, as I always do for you all, and I recommend that if you're living in zone 9B or a tropical area, that you give this a try because it is so good. It's so good. But again, do not overindulge in these types of foods because it's not healthy for you to consume all the time. But if you're gonna have a holiday or an upcoming birthday, like My mom has a birthday coming up here soon, and I actually think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put this away for her birthday. And like I said, I think what I'll do is I'll make a split cake, and when I split that cake in half, I'm going to fill it with this. This will be my filling, and you know, we could add a little bit of whipped cream or Cool Whip, whatever. If you're lactose intolerant, you obviously want something alternative, which I do. So we will be implementing that, and so there it is. It looks so good. Y'all, I've had it before. I'm telling you, it's so delicious and such a treat to be able to enjoy. All right, everyone, thank you guys for watching, and then go check out some of my other videos, because like I said, I am shooting a couple today. So hopefully you guys are gaining some knowledge and information that maybe you previously didn't have before, and this gives you and opens the door for something that maybe you never knew existed, or maybe something cool that you could try. Don't forget, check out my yogurt video, because that yogurt kind of tastes like a cheesecake. And so you could take this topping once it cools, and you could add that to it instead of like doing a fresh fruit. This would be a lovely treat. Even if you have guests coming over, you could put this on, and people would think it's great because it's got that delicious kind of vanilla texture to it, and it's a little bit thicker. So that's how I like it, but you obviously do what's best for you. But don't put it on warm, because you want this to cool down a little bit. But you could put this over, like I said, a cake or some ice cream a little bit warm, and it would be fantastic. So, all right, everyone, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I will see you all in my next video.